want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior. Tech goes by many names. Business, fine art, forensic science. Some think it's just technical. But really, tech means everything. Scholarships, internships, championships. It's professors who make time for you one-on-one. It's putting everything on the line. It can be fierce. It can be fascinating. It can be awesome. Most important, it's believing in yourself and what you have to offer the world. Because at Indiana Tech, warriors are prepared to lead a significant life.
You're busy. You expect to say no sometimes. But what you didn't expect was a chance to say yes to a college degree while keeping your life. Indiana Tech is now offering Chicago area students undergraduate and graduate degree opportunities taught online by experienced faculty who care. Learn more at one of the new Indiana Tech enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette.
I can turn this in early? Sure, whenever you're ready.
Embrace the unexpected at Indiana Tech.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that there aren't very many energy programs out there. When I researched all of the various programs recently, there are really only 2 or 3 accredited engineering programs.
I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada originally. I came out here to Indiana Tech to actually go for the energy engineering program because of its uniqueness and its ability to get hands-on with the materials that I'm going to be using in the future.
Well, a few of the things I think that sets Indiana Tech apart is, number one, you have very small classes. You have very close relationships with your professors. When you have a class of 10 people, it's much easier to get to know the professor and get in contact with him than if you have a class of 30, 40, or 50. You're going to have the same professors for the majority of your classes. You're going to have the same classmates for the majority of your classes.
The more practical applications come in all the subsequent energy engineering classes. He transfers in a class that right after they're leaving the classroom, and the board is filled with calculus. So in order to understand a lot of these topics, they're going to need to understand the calculus there. Calculus is the study of the rate of change, how fast things change. And depending upon whether it's energy engineering, industrial engineering, or whatever, they're going to need to use that and apply that.
Professor Romary, he stands out to me the most right now because when I first got here, I had to take calculus, Calc 1, Calc 2. And he's one of the professors that teaches it. And he just really was a very kind and helpful guy, and he did whatever he could to help us out. He was very funny, always had a way of creatively teaching calculus to us that not a whole lot of people can do. And I think that and how he did it is going to be something that's going to stick for me for a very long time.
The field work that Indiana Tech can provide here is, for example, we have a 10 kilowatt windmill that the students can work with. We have a geothermal system for a couple of the buildings for Utang-Sioux and for Zollner that uses geothermal principles to heat and cool the buildings in the summer and the winter.
The PV array system, training system that we have down here in the basement allows us to wire up the panels we have down in the basement to set it up as a off-the-grid system or a battery bank system, which helps us because we can see every component of the system actually intertwining and how they work together, which is something that may not be easily visible when you're on the job site in a career. So definitely my internship at Super Value Incorporated was a very, very beneficial program for me to be in. It was more based on the process and logistical side of engineering of my degree, not necessarily the design aspect. It helped me really learn how the most efficient way to do a task and some of the boundaries that come with trying to make things more efficient.
One of the things that we've been very fortunate here at Indiana Tech is that we've had a grant through AEP to help subsidize our students in taking some of the various trips in spring break. Over the last 4 years, I have taken, along with a couple of other chaperones, I've taken almost a couple of dozen students to a trip to Germany and Switzerland that focused on renewable energy. We've gone to Iceland last year, focusing on geothermal energy, and we just recently returned from a trip to Costa Rica.
Just last year, I went to Iceland with a couple of our peers, not even just energy engineers, but a couple of other engineering majors went along with us. And for me, that was the highlight of my college time. I mean, we learned a lot about like geothermal systems and how they converted to a country of basically like ran just by geothermal. But it wasn't just learning about that, it was also learning about their culture as well, you know, and the past and the history and where they plan to go in their future. And all those things combined, I think, really kind of defines my experience here in Indiana Tech.
You can be the smartest engineer in the world, but if you cannot talk to or work with other engineers and non-engineers, it's very hard to get anything done. I try to teach my students that while you may not like writing, it's going to be a part of the job. You have to communicate. If you're doing experiments or testing hardware in the lab, you need to write it up so that other people know what you did, and the customer may want to know what are the results of that test.
Something I would remember most about the faculty would be just the one-on-one aspect of it and how open they are to hearing your problems and concerns and willing to assist you. Indiana Tech, with the class sizes being so small, you really get that one-on-one talking, everyday type relationship with your advisors and your professors. And having that is key to success, I feel, because being able to communicate with them and actually get your problems and questions across is going to help clarify things for you while you're in classes in school, which is going to set you up for success.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes. You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior.
On a crisp 62-degree evening, we welcome you to the Schaefer Center here on the beautiful campus of Indiana Tech for WHAC Volleyball. And tonight, a conference matchup between the Lourdes University Grey Wolves and the Indiana Tech Warriors. Or as Coach Matt Fishman said, the Indiana Tech Chameleons on trying to implement some new rotations. We'll talk about that coming up in just a moment. But in the meantime, welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. Joe Northern, delighted to have you with us. Why do we say the word chameleons? Well, when you have different players back into the rotation for Indiana Tech, that has certainly made the big difference for the Warriors in getting back into the rotation. We see Maya Tillman get back into this one. Julie Carvelli also back into the rotation. Ivy Ayers also back into the rotation. So a lot of different players that have contributed very well for Coach Matt Fishman and company, and it's resulted out very well. They're on a 4-game winning streak with, again, winning 3-1 over Puerto Rico San Pedras, again winning on October 1st against Siena Heights 3-0, but 2 all-important road wins against Lawrence Tech and Rochester Christian, and 2 teams that are near at the mid-range of the WHAC, which Indiana Tech right now, due to tiebreakers, they are at 6-4, but they do have the advantage above those. So if the season ended today, Tech would be on the outside looking in and hosting a home game in the WHAC playoffs, but get another win and a few more on top of it. The Warriors could certainly be right back into the right swing of things. Why do we say that additionally? Other players on top. Lauren Snyder, 221 kills. Kristen Matlick, the assist leader with 577. And Elsie McCutcheon leading with 301. Hannah Tyke, not terribly far behind on blocks. She's got 68. Meanwhile, you take a look at the Lourdes Grey Wolves, down 2 players as it stands right now. Eliana Carcabasis and number 24, Hannah Verhage, both freshmen, who will not be in the rotation tonight for Coach Greg Reitz and company. As he said, just like anybody else, we just want to try to find a way to get back on a winning streak. They currently stand at 5-11 overall in the season, but currently have lost 4 out of their last 5. Actually, 6 out of their last 7 in WHAC play. The only match that they won last time was not only September 6th in Gary, but getting a win over UM Dearborn on October 1st. But those have only been the 2 wins in the past 30 days for the Grey Wolves. They're looking to try to find a way to right the ship and get back on board. Take a look at season statistics for the Grey Wolves. Again, individual players to keep an eye on for Coach Greg Reitz and company. Jolie Saab leading the way, 139 kills on the season on 505 total attacks. Rachel Allison not too far behind, 126 kills on the season for the Grey Wolves at the moment, and 437 total attacks on the season. Joanna Tester with 86 kills at the moment. In terms of assists, they go to one person, Zoe Sholey, with 402 assists on the season, averaging just about 7%. In terms of aces, we take a look on the board. It is Sholey again who has made the impact with 22. So the Grey Wolves will want to try to find a way to make this one interesting tonight. They will have to go to the assists here in this matchup this evening, as we'll get you ready for an all-important WHAC matchup. Other games coming across in the WHAC tonight, but should the Warriors get a win, they'll be back in that top 4 range. And again, a look at the standings right now. It's Aquinas at the top at 10-0, but really the 2 through 8 line still very, very interesting here, as it's only a 4-game separation between the 2 and the 8 seed right now in the WHAC. Of course, this can be a long season, but believe it or not, the postseason tournament is just 1 month away. Can you believe it? We can't. So we'll get you ready for Indiana Tech taking on Lourdes. Coming up in just a moment, you're watching exclusive coverage of Indiana Tech women's volleyball on the Indiana Tech Digital Network.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I decided if I was going to come to Indiana Tech, I was going to be a different kind of instructor. I was really going to focus on connecting with students, teaching the students the theory that they needed and also the practical applications.
Very practically, what that looks like is smaller class sizes. So my class sizes are the 8 to 10 up to maybe 20. And that's backed up with, we have 18 hours of office hours every week. I'm sitting in my office waiting for students to come in to talk about anything. It doesn't just have to be with the classroom.
In the College of Engineering, we have ABET accreditation for mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and biomedical engineering. ABET is the top accrediting board for engineering in the United States and probably in the world.
Another thing that is a very different approach at Indiana Tech, I think, that some other universities, is we try and make sure they have a lot of lab experience in the engineering department. All engineering programs are going to have laboratory courses, but in our laboratory courses we try to get them not just exposure to measurements and exposure to some of the devices that you'll be used, but I like to actually assign projects that are, realistic projects.
Those projects, this project-based learning, help students to work together in a group and be hands-on with their the material or the product that they're creating. Engineering students at Indiana Tech are, to me, stand out because I know that they've had a lot of experiences working in groups, working on projects, doing lab experiments to help them understand the material, and I think that prepares them well for industry.
First thing I'll tell a high school student is study, study, study. Get all the math you can possibly get. I honestly believe that the critical thinking skills you learn in math courses will help you with engineering courses.
The type of knowledge base that students should have coming in, they need to be problem solvers and critical thinkers. Those two things are really the essence of engineering. Regardless of flavor, they're going to need to figure out, there's a problem here, how do I solve it? And they need to think critically about that. They need to observe, listen to people, and then kick in those problem-solving skills to solve the problem.
Part of the growth of Indiana Tech has involved an increasing number of international students. So I think if we can expose students to different ideas, different cultures, again, it makes them that much more competitive in the marketplace.
In the Fort Wayne area, we have lots of large companies, BAE Systems, Fort Wayne Metals, General Motors, Raytheon, Harris Corporation, and the list goes on. We have a lot of employers that want our engineering students.
Indiana Tech, I think, continues to serve students even beyond their graduation. We really strive to keep in touch with our alumni on a personal level just to see how they're doing, but then also they want to give back to the university because of the experiences they've had here, so they want to provide opportunities for other students here as well.
Number 12, Aaliyah.
Starting lineups being introduced. Let's go down to the floor.
Number 23, Mia Carl. And at libero, number 2, are Lena Willett. The Grey Wolves are coached by Greg Brights, assistant coach Allison Placencia. Now let's meet the starting lineups for your Indiana Tech Warriors. A junior middle blocker from Elkhart, Indiana, number 7, Hannah Kite. A freshman outside hitter from Independence, Kentucky, number 8, Kira Hahn. A freshman center from Norwalk, Ohio, number 10, Kristen Mackler. A senior middle blocker from Kankakee, Illinois, number 12, Jacqueline Alloway. A senior defensive specialist, Lafayette, Indiana, number 16, Cassidy Boner. A sophomore outside hitter from Woodford, Indiana, number 19, Lauren Snyder. And a junior libero from Fort Wayne, number 5, Emmeline Wood. The Warriors are coached by Matt Fishman, assistant coaches Robert Ochoa, Lisa Baker, and Emmett Western at Horton.
So as the starting rotations are introduced here in this one, we will bring them back to you one more time as we take a look for the Lourdes starters. Looks a little bit like this. You have Rachel Allison wearing number 10, Aaliyah Baptiste wearing number 12, Zoe Sholey wearing number 19, Mia Carl on the board wearing number 23, number 22, Aaliyah Cole, or actually number 7, Talia Cole, and number 9, Jolie Saab. Meanwhile, for Coach Matt Fishman and this Indiana Tech Warrior team, they come in as it stands right now, 13-9 on the season, 6-4 in WHAC play. Lineup looks like this. You have Kristen Matlick wearing number 10, Jacqueline Alloway wearing number 12. Cassidy Boner wearing number 16. Lauren Snyder, number 19. Hannah Tyke wearing number 7. Kira Hans wearing number 8. So that is the starting rotations for each team. Liberos look a little bit like this. For Indiana Tech, number 5, it's going to be Emmeline Wood will be the libero. And for Lourdes, it'll be number 2, Ariana Wilder. So again, a must-win situation for both teams, for Indiana Tech to try to stay and move themselves up into the top 4 in WHAC play. They're currently riding a 4-game winning streak in the month of October. They're having some struggles in September. Coach Matt Fishman said he's trying to at least tinker with the lineup a little bit and tinker with the rotations, which has seemed to work out well. And again, worked out very well against 2 of the top 4, 2 of the top 5 in the league in Rochester Christian and Lawrence Tech. Both teams they are tied with currently at 6-4 in league play. And the Warriors find a way to get back on the board here in this one. We're underway. Glad you're with us here tonight. And a sail across mid-row. High tips and got it. As Kira Hans able to answer the call immediately with a light tip to make it 1-0. And the Warriors strike first. And again, coming into this match, the Warriors had only, well, we should say before the 4-game winning streak, the Warriors had only won games in 3-0 fashion, but that changed with a win over Puerto Rico, Leo Pitras winning 3-1, and then they had to go the distance with Lawrence Tech last Friday night going 3-2, the winners in that one. So currently a gridlock in the middle in the WHAC as this one sails out of play and get back on the board for the Grey Wolves. Meanwhile, for the Grey Wolves, again, speaking with the coach in Greg Reitz, he did mention that we just want to try to get on a winning streak like anybody else can, as the Grey Wolves, again, have only won 2 games since the month of September. One against IU Northwest right here at the Liz K tournament, and also the Liz L tournament, we should say. And then over UM Dearborn on Saturday, or last Wednesday night, we should say. Big swing across in time, back on the board. So back-to-back side-outs make it 2-2, an advantage of really nobody, but Indiana Tech will get the last point to try to continue to push things forward. Here's Emmeline Wood. Wood gets it down low. Now another swing across. This one high tip, but out of play. So 2 of the 3 points coming from the side-outs for IT. But the Warriors, again, just continuing to ride with the advantage if they can. They also only have the 2 kills on the board, technically. Another big push on the opposite side. Coming in from the freshman middle blocker in Mia Carl. So Carl answering the call, and it's been just kind of a tale of trading points here in this one in case you're just joining us. So as they continue to trade points, again, 3-3 affair. As brought over by Scully. Scully sails this one inside for an ace. As Zoe Scully able to find a way to get the back of the box rather quickly. Take a look at that again one more time. And just grazed into the back row with plenty of room to work with. 4-3 our score. This one a little too far. And we're even back at 4, so no insurance points for either team one way or another. And we'll see what number 15 can do and Alana Dorgeron. It's Alana Durgeon coming back into the rotation. First time we've seen her on the court, at least in my instance that I've seen her on the court here this season. This one blocked up the middle, but a lift call going to go against Lourdes. So a nice quick point for IT to make it a 5-4 game. Chance again into the net. So a quick tale of trading points so far here in this match, but in the advantage of really nobody at this point. It's maybe one team gets 2 points, another team gets 2, another one gets 1, another one gets 1. So both rather even when it comes to scoring. Here's another push across. This one a little bit low. Got to find a way to get a swing on it, and they do. It's dug up by Saab. Now another low tip, not going to be enough. And back on the board for IT. As that one was batted off the hands of Mia Carl. Tried to get a hand on it, but could not get it to go. And it's 6-5 advantage of the Warriors. As we see Cassidy Boner now, the Lafayette native, ready to bring it over. Boner gets it across. Sneak tip coming from the hands of number 25 in Pedalvi. And sailed out of play, and a quick point back on the Lourdes side. So just like that, it is 6-6 here in the first, and both teams very well gridlocked here at this one. Just kind of trading points for the most part, in case you're just joining us. Tech trying to extend the winning streak to 5. Lourdes trying to win their third game in a little over 30 days. This one off the tip and misconnection to the back row for IT to make it 7-6. And so can they find a way to continue the run? It's going to be off the hands of Lumpkin. Lumpkin sails it back row. Another chance. Gets this one poppled over. Finding Saab. Saab can't get it. And runs right back into the net. So that is the 5th net violation of the match so far tonight. And again, no team having really any advantage over another. And the Warriors try to strike something up. Tight gets it across. Chance again, tip, it rolls, dug up, saved in time by Alway. Now another swing, back for goes for Snyder. Now another high swing, tip, saved by Tyke. Now a chance again, goes to Schultz. Schultz tries to answer the call, can't get it. Now another swing tip, saved to the back again by Alway. They go to Tyke. Tyke, back row again. Long swing tip, received by Tyke. Now another push, she scores! Jacqueline Holloway answering the call rather quickly on a long rally, but it goes back in favor for IT as they lead it by 1. And a dunk tip-up coming from Kira Hans to make it now 9-7. Let's take a look again one more time at the big block up front from Alway. She was able to get that one confirmed in her territory and got it ready to go up front. How about another block tip again from Alway? As Alway getting some help from Schultz on the block. And this game is now 9-7. Or I beg your pardon, 10-7 the score. Lourdes getting a quick point on the board to make it 10-8. Scoreboard here in the Schaefer Center showing 9-8, but we rely on the stats that is provided to us up top. So a 10-8 advantage. We'll look to see if that gets corrected. Swing goes wide, out of play. To make it 10-9, an advantage of IT, but an opportunity for Lourdes to try to get the insurance point. So longest scoring run of the game goes in the hands of the Warriors. They've rattled off 3 in a row to make it 10-9. Here's another push across. This one tipped light from Schultz. Still able to get this one across. Now a high block tipped and got it. Kira Hans able to answer the call on the big block. And Tech getting the quick insurance point to make it a 2-point affair. 11-9 here in the first. Of course, we'll get you updated on some of the other action coming on across the WHAC. And again, a gridlock in the middle of the standings right now. It's Tech trying to push their way back to the top 4. Kristen Matlick now brings it across. Chance again. Lopped back over to Dujardin, but could not get it to go. I beg your pardon, number 9, Zoe Schulle. Able to get it inside the box to make it 11-10 here in the first. Chance again upcoming from the hands of Baptiste. Baptiste again on the run. Baptiste tries to sail it across. Finds now in Malign Wood. Brought back again opposite side. And Kristen Matlick able to get the deflection. So Matlick with a quick deflection to make it a 2-point affair. And the insurance point on the board for IT as they lead it 12-10 here in the second. Push across over from Redder. Sailed again opposite side. Block tip, not going to matter. Jacqueline Alway, that is her third block tonight as it stands. As she's done a great job of just commanding the blocks all on her own. All 3 blocks assisted, we should say, this evening, but nonetheless, she has been the difference on the front line. 3-point game advantage of IT. Chance again dug up from Wood. Now another swing, brought down low. Still kept live from the hands of Willer. Sails over for Wood, free ball opportunity upcoming. Mid-row tip from Saab. Now back again in Tech territory. They got to go back row to Saab, and they get it in time. And another big swing up front from Alea Baptiste, the Honolulu native, getting it on the board, and it's 13-11. So that stops the run for the Warriors in the moment, but still with that insurance point to make it 13-11. What do we mean by when we say insurance point? Is that you have a 2-point lead, and to win a match, or win a game, I should say, that's all you need. Here's a push. Cross again from Saab. Back row again they go. They get it off to Wood. Now another high swing. Mid-row push over from Sholey. That one sails out of play. 3-point lead, 14-11 in advantage of the Warriors. As Emmeline Wood again ready to bring it across. Here is Wood. Wood now on the run. And can't get this one across, but a nice tip down to ready to bring it across.
Serving for Lourdes number 10, Rachel Allison.
So Allison substituting in now for the Gray Wolves, 14-12. An advantage of IT. Big push sails across, but goes out of play. 15-12 our advantage, and certainly in the advantage of IT.
Serving for Indiana Tech, number 15, Isabella Asselay.
Isabel Astley coming in for Indiana Tech, in for Lourdes. Number 19, Zoe Sholey returning, ends of the rotation. Astley now ready to return it over. Chance again, lobbed up from Allison. Still kept live. They got a Tyke. Does Tyke get it over? Waiting for the official ruling. No, it's a net violation against Tyke. So it's a 2-point game yet again, 15-13. An advantage of IT as Tyke did not find the angle she was looking for to make it a 2-point game. Push again, opposite side, swung on, tipped, and out of play. Brianna Pavaldi was looking for the angle but could not find it as it sailed towards the Indiana Tech bench. From our vantage point, Cassidy Boner now ready to bring it across. 16-13 the advantage. Boner up the middle. Chance again, swung on and inside. As they saw a tip up top, looking to see who that might be on. We'll look to see if a challenge is going to be played. No challenge, they say play on. Maybe a tip coming from an Indiana Tech player. If you look back row, it might have been off Boner. It might have been off Osley. Nonetheless, 2-point game, Warriors on top. Here's a big push across. They go to Schultz. No doubt about it. As Amelia Schultz with a great push across in time to extend the lead back to 3. 17-14 here in the first. And Hannah Tyke now ready again to bring it across. Tyke. Nearly an ace, but bobbled off the hands. This one saved from nothing as Talia Cole able to get the quick point. Make it a 2-point game. 17-15 advantage of IT. The Warriors trying to rattle off 5 wins in a row. But it's certainly been a back and forth effort here in this one. Lobbed over again from Schulle. Tip from Schultz, blocked and out of play. They were looking for the tip off the hands of Aaliyah Baptiste, but could not get it to go. So the Warriors, the quick point advantage, make it 18-15 here in the first. We'll look to see if a timeout will be called.
Lourdes is challenging the last play.
Or actually, it will be a challenge coming in from the Grey Wolves. So that'll be our first challenge of the evening. So we'll take that point off the board again. Kind of debatable if you do look at it again one more time, as it could have maybe potentially tipped off a Tech defender, but not completely sure if that was the case. So again, with the challenge rulings, the coaches can't go back to the videotape to see, like, hey, is this point accurate or not? We've seen that happen multiple times with at least single game matches here at IT this season, and seen that all across in the NAIA. So we'll wait to see what the ruling will be. Meanwhile, coming up this weekend here on the Indiana Tech Digital Network, we've got a doubleheader of soccer for you on Saturday afternoon as Lawrence Tech comes to town. And they roll the point for Indiana Tech to make it back to a 3-point game. The soccer doubleheader, Lawrence Tech comes to town. Women play at 1, men play at 4. We'll have that for you right here. And then a hockey twin header, both against Midland. The game Saturday night at 7 o'clock, and then 2 p.m. on Sunday afternoon as the Warriors welcome in Midland for a 2-game stretch. We'll have it for you right here on the Indiana Tech Digital Network. 18-15 our score. It has been nothing but IT here in this one late in the set. But Lourdes doing a great job of trying to defend, and they do. And they've done a great job of doing that thanks to the frontline attacks, thanks to Zoe Schulle. Schulle, the sophomore from Shakopee, Minnesota. And if anyone from Shakopee, Minnesota says that's not the way to pronounce it, I am sorry. 18-16 our score. Push across, they get this back over to Hans. Now another high swing to Snyder. Snyder can't get it to go. Another push, finds Saab. Saab able to get the deflection. And a 1-point game, 18-17 here in the first. And so the Grey Wolves now, back-to-back points, an opportunity to try to extend the run and even the match at 18. Here's another push. Swung down again by number 9 in Carmelli. Another swing. Brought down and got it. The Woodburn native in Lawrence Snyder able to get it back on the board. The lead extended back to 2. By the way, the swing was on Kira Hans, not Carmelli, I beg your pardon. Paige Redder now coming in as Lourdes will stop to think it over. 19-17 our score. Tech trying to close it out and get a 1-0 advantage. Back in a moment.
Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes.
Good luck, Tammy.
See you, David.
Things happen. How do you make the unexpected happen?
Take the next step with an online degree from Indiana Tech. Start with a visit to one of our 2 new Chicago area enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette. You'll discover a wide range of affordable undergraduate and graduate degrees with flexible class schedules designed to fit your lifestyle and help you earn a degree sooner than you'd expect. Embrace the unexpected at Indiana Tech.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech?
(1917) advantage of the Warriors as the Grey Wolves have tried to find a good way to get back into rotations, but again, it's been just kind of trading points back and forth, and the mid-set surge from the Warriors has made the difference so far. Big dig in the back row again by IT. Another push up front from Snyder. Now again, back row they go to connect over to Wilder. Wilder gets back over to Wood. Wood again connecting. Light tip again from Snyder. Now another push. Wood can't get it to go. So he surely finds a way to get it back on the board. And it's a 1-point game, 19-18. As Talia Cole now ready to bring it across. And the Grey Wolves looking for an opportunity to tie it. Chance again, swung up and got it. Able to get the deflection off Jolie Saab up front. So that gives him the insurance point with Emmeline Wood ready to bring it across. And a 2-point game here in the first. Wood again gets this over. Now another chance, high swing. Lopped back again from Snyder, tip over. Again, still keeping it alive, back over to Wood. They go over to Snyder again. Snyder on the right side. That one just pinballs over as players just trying to get a hand on it, but too close for comfort. Making out with 3-point game, 21-18 here in set number 1. And the Grey Wolves will again call another timeout. They'll take their second of the set. We'll step aside. It is Indiana Tech up by 3, trying to close it out here in the first.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there are so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
You have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior. Go Warriors.
Big push in time again for the Grey Wolves as they get another quick point back on the board to make it a 21-19 affair. And the Grey Wolves certainly not giving up in any stretch of the imagination. Another push across from Allison. Sails this one back over to Snyder, and she answers the call to make it 22-19. So a great pivot out of play to make it a 3-point game, 22-19 here in set number 1. The Grey Wolves again trying to continue their winning ways. They've won 5 in a row, or 4 in a row, we should say, in the regular season. As Tech and 3 other teams are 1 game behind Madonna, that goes into the net. As Madonna 7-3 in WHAC play. Indiana Tech, Lawrence Tech, Rochester Christian, all 6-4, all log jammed in the middle of WHAC play. Another push across, this time from the hands of Pasca. Pasca got it. As Hannah Tyke now able to push it across. And the Warriors with their largest lead tonight. And a set point opportunity. This time coming from the hands of Alana Dujardin, a sophomore setter from Clinton Township, Michigan. Dujardin sails it out of play. And we play on. So 20-24, if the Warriors can find a way to combat it up the middle, they will certainly continue to ride their winning rays. Here's Jolie Saab now. Saab, back row. Chance again across. High block tipped over from the hands of Pavaldi. Now another swing tip. This one lopped back opposite side. Tipped and got it. As Hannah Tyke was able to force the deflection. And that is how the first set will come to a close. So we go to the second. Tech wins the first, 25-20. We'll be back in the third coming up in just a moment. This is exclusive coverage of Indiana Tech Volleyball on the Indiana Tech Digital Network.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I decided if I was going to come to Indiana Tech, I was going to be a different kind of instructor. I was really going to focus on connecting with students, teaching the students the theory that they needed and also the practical applications.
Very practically what that looks like is smaller class sizes. So my class sizes are the 8 to 10 up to maybe 20. And that's backed up with we have 18 hours of office hours every week. I'm sitting in my office waiting for students to come in to talk about anything. It doesn't just have to be with the classroom.
In the College of Engineering, we have ABET accreditation for mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and biomedical engineering. ABET is the top accrediting board for engineering in the United States and probably in the world.
Another thing that is a very different approach at Indiana Tech, I think, that some other universities, is we try and make sure they have a lot of lab experience in the engineering department. All engineering programs are going to have laboratory courses, but in our laboratory courses we try to get them not just exposure to measurements and exposure to some of the devices that you'll be used, but I like to actually assign projects that are, realistic projects.
Those projects, this project-based learning, help students to work together in a group and be hands-on with their the material or the product that they're creating. Engineering students at Indiana Tech are, to me, stand out because I know that they've had a lot of experiences working in groups, working on projects, doing lab experiments to help them understand the material, and I think that prepares them well for industry.
First thing I'll tell a high school student is study, study, study. Get all the math you can possibly get. I honestly believe that the critical thinking skills you learn in math courses will help you with engineering courses.
The type of knowledge base that students should have coming in, they need to be problem solvers and critical thinkers. Those two things are really the essence of engineering. Regardless of flavor, they're going to need to figure out, there's a problem here, how do I solve it? And they need to think critically about that. They need to observe, listen to people, and then kick in those problem-solving skills to solve the problem.
Part of the growth of Indiana Tech has involved an increasing number of international students. So I think if we can expose students to different ideas, different cultures, again, it makes them that much more competitive in the marketplace.
In the Fort Wayne area, we have lots of large companies, BAE Systems, Fort Wayne Metals, General Motors, Raytheon, Harris Corporation, and the list goes on. We have a lot of employers that want our engineering students.
Indiana Tech, I think, continues to serve students even beyond their graduation. We really strive to keep in touch with our alumni on a personal level just to see how they're doing, but then also they want to give back to the university because of the experiences they've had here, so they want to provide opportunities for other students here as well.
And we're back 25-20 as Indiana Tech takes away set number 1. We'll see what they can do in set number 2. Joe Northern alongside Jake Havland as that one goes into the net. And quickly on the board for the Gray Wolves. Get a team 5-11 coming into this season. They're coming into this match here tonight, 1-9 in WHAC play. While Indiana Tech coming in at 6-4. A 5-game stretch, and a lift call going to go against the Warriors to make it 2-0. Take a look at first set leaders for the Gray Wolves. Again, 2 players with 3 kills on the board. Talia Cole and number 23, Mia Carl, each with a kill apiece. As the Gray Wolves trying to get another quick one back on the board. High swing tip, they go again, back row. Another chance over for Snyder. Snyder brought down and got it. So the Woodburn native trying to stop the scoring rather quickly. Meanwhile, for Indiana Tech coming in to at least this point right now, it's Kira Hans and Snyder leading the way in kills, each with 4 apiece, but 4 different Tech players with 2 kills on the board. That would be Hannah Tite, Jacqueline Holloway, Amelia Schultz, and Lauren Pasca. So again, kind of spread scoring across for all the players here in this one. Misplayed ball on the opposite side for Lourdes. And that'll result in a Tech point opportunity to try to get back up. So they won the first set 25-20 in case you're just joining us. Another swing that go up to the corner. Connects back over to Saab. High, big swing. Gets it over to Redder. Now a chance again for Snyder. This one sails inside as they found a tip on the board for Lourdes. So the big push again coming from the hands of number 18, we should say, Lauren Pasca, the Noblesville native. Light swing up the middle. They set it back over to Wood. Now down to Alway. Gets it up the middle. Saved by Sholey. Now again they connect back over to Saab. Here's Snyder. High tip over and got it. And a double hit called against Lourdes. And so the Warriors start the second set on a quick 4-0 run. And exactly what Coach Matt Fishman and company ordered here in this one. Chance again, back row. Sails this one across. Connected back over to Wood. They go to Pasca. Pasca, low tip down the middle. Now another chance up front to connect with Cole. They get it back over to Wood. They set it again for Snyder. Doesn't find the angle. Still kept live. And still kept live. A great push from the hands of Kira Hans. Now back again. Free ball chance for IT. Another swing from Alway. They get it up the middle to connect back over to Weiler. Weiler again sets over to Wood on the set. They go to Snyder. Snyder swings. Can't get it. Still kept live again by the Gray Wolves. Now another push. Free ball chance again. They go to Wood, or Pasca. It is out of play. And the swing goes wide. They're looking for a tip. And Coach Matt Fishman may be looking for a challenge on this one. As they're looking for a tip, and they will go back to review it to see if it is a tip. So the second challenge of the night, one of which implemented by the Gray Wolves, the other implemented by Indiana Tech. So 4-2 our score in this one. Well, again, don't forget, coming up later, let's go ahead and actually check out other scores going on in the WHAC. Again, we mentioned postseason play just 34 days away, rather, I should say. With the rounds beginning on November 12th. fact, we do have a match that has already gone final. Aquinas winning over Kuiper University 3-0 early on in that one. And Aquinas in the second of two. Let's get you caught up. It is Lourdes Tech on top of Madonna. Something to pay attention to if you're a Tech fan. If you get Madonna to lose and you win here tonight, you get back to the top of the table because Lourdes Tech currently number 4 in the WHAC. So that would certainly help the Warriors in their cause. It's Lourdes Tech winning that one 25-23. They won the first. Madonna currently leading in the second 6-3. Rochester Christian and UM Dearborn. So Rochester Christian won the first 25-18. They lead at 14-10. They're in the second over there. Siena Heights and Aquinas. Aquinas leading on that one 25-16, 11-8. And that one, and over at the garage, it's the Yellow Jackets of Defiance College leading 1-0, 25-16, but it's Northwestern Ohio leading in the second, 7-12. Unfortunately, the point is going to stand for Lourdes, so both challenges tonight not won by either coach, and it's a 1-point game, an advantage of IT. Here's to Leah Cole now to bring it over. Cole sails it across, connects down to Olway, and a commanding swing from number 12. As Jacqueline Alway finds a way to get it quickly on the board. Take a look at that again one more time as Alway finds a way to get to the back of the box. Still kept live opposite direction. Now another big push. Back row again, they go to find Redder. Now a high tip and got it. A big deflection from the hands of Lawrence Snyder. And so the Warriors trying to move fast and quick here in this one, as they lead by 3, 6-3 here in the second. Here's Emmeline Wood, but that quick run's going to come to a halt. So a quick run up into the net cuts the lead back down to 2. Make it 6-4, and Rachel Allison ready to bring it across. Allison, the redshirt senior, her final season from Perrysburg, Ohio. This one sailed across the middle over to Wood. Now another high chance swing down to Snyder and got it. As it just grazes inside the box. And Snyder now with 2 kills in the set, currently with 6 on the evening. And we take a look at total stats for Indiana Tech coming into this one, or as so far in this game at the moment. The Warriors 21 kills on the board compared to the Lourdes 11, 26 points to the Grey Wolves 13. 9 attack errors for Lourdes, only 7 for IT. Total attacks, Indiana Tech leading that one 54-47. And a block swing goes out of play. Amelia Schultz couldn't get the angle on that one. So that'll give a chance for the Grey Wolves to reset again once more. Schultz, the Belmont native, the Decatur native, played with Coach Craig Kroll Company at Belmont. As that one drops down low to make it a 1-point game, 7-6. And a chance again for Lourdes to try to continue on a little bit of a run here. They've rattled off the last 2. They would love to try to go for 3. The longest point scoring run they've been on has been 3, and they won't do it here. Thanks to a little miscommunication at the front line to make it 8-6. So IT now trying to regroup and set back in normal with Cassidy Boner ready to bring it across. The Lafayette native and the defensive specialist for Coach Matt Fishman and company. Push again across, this one grazing near the top of the line. Little sneak tip across again from number 25 in Pavaldi. Or Carl, I beg your pardon. Carl gets another quick block up front. Sailed over in time again by Alway. Now a low tip over. Saved, lifted over for Hans. Free ball chance, and got it. As Jolie Saab able to find a way off the free ball chance coming from the hands of Kira Hans to make it a 1-point affair, 8-7 here in set number 2. Arlena Willer now ready to bring it across. Willer sails it back row to connect over to Wood. Now another chance upcoming. Connecting over to the hands of Hans. Now another high swing. Dug up opposite side. Finds Alway. Now another chance over to Wood. Or Hans, I beg your pardon. High tip over to Schultz. Going to be a battle at the net. Won by IT. They didn't even have to go for it, as it sailed just a couple inches away from the line of Lourdes. But the Grey Wolves not getting there in time. 9-7 the advantage of IT. Is Hannah Teich now ready to bring it across. She gets it back row to connect over to Sholey. And able to get the deflection off Boner. So a 1-point game, 9-8 here in set number 2. The Warriors again trying to do a great job of continuing the momentum going. That one going to be sailed into the net against the Grey Wolves to make it 10-8. So they get that insurance point to make it a 2-point affair. You always need that insurance point to be up by 2 because you never know how quickly that can come in clutch. Kristen Matlick now ready to bring it across. Matlick sails it way out of play. And to make it 10-9 the affair here in this one. So again, kind of back and forth between these two teams. Very competitive matchup, we should say, between these two teams. Tech trying to at least find the big breaks up front if they can get them. This one sailed again back row. Connects back over to Boner. Boner again tipped and got it. Cassidy Boner able to get it off the deflection from what appeared to be number 9, a Jolie Saab, to get back to a 2-point game, 11-9 here in the second. The Warriors up 1-0, 25-20. They get Paige Redder all fired up. They go back row over again to Saab on the reception. Now another swing, dug up again by Matlick. High swing push, dug up again from Sholey. They sail it across to connect with Allison. Now another chance for Pasca. Pasca up the middle. Going to be a big swing, dug up in the interim. Now a quick battle. Going to be a reach over into the net. It looks like Matlick got a hand in there. Or actually, they're going to say it's a double going to go, or a reach-in going to go against Lourdes. So the reach-in is actually going to go against the Grey Wolves, but they're going to challenge the play on that. So we won't award any points, but right now the point stands for Indiana Tech. But they rule that the point may have come in on an inner collision into the net from either number 10 in Rachel Allison or number 9, Jolie Saab. So we'll have to wait and see the confirmation on that one here in the second. So challenge number 3 this evening tonight between these two teams. Again, look at the upcoming schedule for both of these two squads. For Indiana Tech, they head over to Defiance coming up on Friday night at the 7 p.m. start time, and then back home for 3 in a row in an important 3-game stretch. They welcome the Racers in Northwestern Ohio on next Wednesday night, 7 p.m. And then on the 17th against Aquinas, currently top of the table in the WHAC, and Cornerstone in second place. So again, a big week for IT next weekend. Or next week, we should say, here at the Schaefer Center. Of course, we'll have all 3 games free here on the Indiana Tech Digital Network. I'll join you next Wednesday night for the UNOH game, and then Aaron Farley, a voice you hear on soccer, will join you for the games on the 17th and the 18th. But then after that, the Warriors won't be home until November 7th, when they welcome Rochester Christian and Lawrence Tech, a game that could play factors between these two games. So they ruled the point on the board for Indiana Tech, as the net violation does stand against Lourdes. And just like that, you've got a 12-9 affair here in this one. And an ace. And a crazy ace on the board this time from number 3 in Paige Redder to make it a 5-point game, or 4-point game, 13-9. Redder nearly had number 2 for a second, and she does. Back-to-back on the board for number 3 in Paige Redder, and Lourdes wants to stop and think it over. 14-9 advantage of Indiana Tech. And the Warriors trying to go on a quick 2-0 run. And go up 2-0, we should say. Back in a moment.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there are so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
You have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats.
Paige Redder now ready to bring it across as the Warriors again with their largest lead of the night, or what was their largest lead of the night. And a jump point, they're going to rule it back thanks to the horn going off mid-serve. So they'll do it again, and that might have been one of the loudest yeses I think I've heard. Or a yeah coming from Indiana Tech. So they'll do it again. Redder now gets it across. That's over Scully. Scully again, tipped down low. Gets it over to Pasca. Pasca back row again to find Lourdes. Now a push from Allison. Able to get this across. Tip over from Alway. Sets back over for Willard. Willard dug deep again from Matlick. They go over to Wood. They don't want to give a free chance, but not going to matter as it's off the tweeter and on the board for Lourdes. So the point wouldn't have mattered anyway. They were looking for the tip. They were looking for the jump inside, but are they going to be able to get it? As you can see, Coach Matt Fishman talking over with Always saying, nope, that's not going to be the case here. So no challenge will be done as IT stopped the scoring run for the moment. So they got a quick 3-0 run to get back up by 4. 14-10 the advantage. High push again from Pasca. Now another swing across gets us in the hands of Allison. So again, they sail to the opposite side over to Wood. High swing down and in for Pasca. As Lauren Pasca with a commanding swing down the middle to make it a 5-point game, 15-10 here in set number 2. Emmeline Wood now, the Fort Wayne native, ready to bring it across. Another high tip. Actually go to Matlick, so not as much swing as we thought. Pasca commands it and scores! As Lauren Pasca doing a great job on the left side here in this one. We take a look at that again one more time. As she was able to command it well within her range, and a 6-point lead. Tip again. Dug up in the back from Alway. They go again to Pasca. She goes back to back. As Lauren Pasca continuing to command the front line, and Indiana Tech with their largest lead, continuing to add their largest lead tonight. 17-10 here in the second. Low roller for Wood and an ace. That's a quick 4-0 run on the board for IT. Timeout, Lourdes. And so the Warriors on a run, trying to go up 2-0, and certainly about to be in pole position to do so. Back in a moment.
Tech goes by many names. Business, fine art, forensic science. Some think it's just technical. But really, Tech means everything. Scholarships, internships, championships. It's professors who make time for you one-on-one. It's putting everything on the line. It can be fierce. It can be fascinating. It can be awesome. Most important, it's believing in yourself and what you have to offer the world. Because at Indiana Tech, Warriors are prepared to lead a significant life.
(18-10) our score. The Warriors with their largest lead of the night and adding on to it. Their largest lead was previously at 1.5. But now they've since rattled off 9 out of the last 10 on the board, or 8 of the last 9, I should say, here in set number 2, and certainly in commanding fashion. Emmeline Wood able to get this one lopped up. They go to Shully, tipped high and out of play. As the swing goes wide off the hands, this time of Joanna Tester, the freshman from Waukegan, Ohio. 9-point game advantage of IT. Presently on a 5-0 run. Wood does not get the bounce she's looking for on that one. So that'll stop the scoring run, but not before Tech getting up 8 here in the second and trying to command the front point scoring as much as they can. As Kristen Matlick now ready to bring it over. Matlick takes her time. A little bit of a shimmy ball move. Sails it up. Chance again, tipped. Snyder thought she had the graze. Now she gets it. As Lauren Snyder was looking for the quick push across, but able to get that to go. Again, a great defensive push coming in from the hands of the Grey Wolves, but not enough for number 19, who's got number 9 on the kills here this evening. And having a great evening, 9-17 with the error for a .471 hitting percentage here in the match so far. 20-11 our score. High push, down and in. Mia Carl able to leap up as the middle blocker, finding the back row and in time to cut the lead back to 8. Alea Batiste now ready to bring it across. Sails this up and over. Chance again, high swing tip and got it. As Hannah Tyke able to get the commanding swing across. As Tyke able ready to get it over. Make it 21-12, an advantage of IT. Sailed across again for Matlick, back row. Chance again, Matlick again. Picks it up. Down low again for Hans. And a reset upcoming. This one, block tip it in! As Amelia Schultz answers the call up front. Hannah Tyke also got a hand on it in the interim as we take a look at that again one more time. As Tyke able to find a way. And so did Schultz in the interim. 10-point game. This one swung down from Shully in time. So that'll stop the run for the moment. But again, if you're Lourdes, you're going to have to rattle off point after point after point to try to get the advantage here. But nonetheless, it's a 9-point game, 22-13. Chance again, back mid-row they go. Wood, little low pusher up front. Gets this one up and across, high tip. Sailed again, back for Wood. Another chance upcoming, sets this down for Schultz. Does Schultz get the tip? She doesn't. So Schultz was looking for a potential deflection, but could not get it to go. And so the Grey Wolves get 2 in a row, 22-14. High push again, lifted over and across from the hands of number 15 in Asali. Blocked again up front and got it as Talia Cole shuts it down, and the Grey Wolves rattle off 3 in a row here in the second and cut the lead down to 7. So Lourdes certainly far from out of it here in the second. Can they continue to keep it alive? They go back to Wood. Wood again, lobbed across. Pivoted off the hands of number 12 in Baptiste. Do they find the tip? They got it. It was off the hands of Schultz. And now it's a quick 4-0 run on the board for Lourdes. They were trailing by as many as 10. They're now down to 6. Dug up. Hans' opportunity. Saved by Schultz. They're going to go for Hans again one more time. Sailed in a diving dig from the hands of Willer. Now they're going to have to reset again. And Tyke says not today. And forcing the deflection off Ariana Willer. 23-16 here in the second. Indiana Tech trying to continue to pull away and go up 2-0. As Tyke now serving it, gets a generous bounce it in. As Hannah Tyke able to graze the top line to make it now a set point chance and advantage of your Warriors. Here's Tyke. Tyke across. Sailed out of play. Back-to-back aces. And that is how the second will come to a close. So we go to the third. Indiana Tech with a mid to late set surge. Win it by 9 in the second, 25-16. We'll be back with the third coming up in just a moment. This is exclusive coverage of Indiana Tech women's volleyball here on the Indiana Tech Digital Network.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior. Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there's so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a warrior. Go Warriors.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior.
We go to the third. Our score, Indiana Tech leading it 2-0, 25-20 and 25-16. Joe Northern alongside the enforcer, Jake Havlin. Delighted to have you with us. And again, it's been an Indiana Tech team that has found the right touch coming into mid to late sets, as during the mid-set surge in set number 2, they were able to rattle off 9 out of 10 in a row to really try to make it out of reach against the Grey Wolves, and certainly did not look back from there. Meanwhile, Lourdes again trying to get their third win in a little over 30 days, if not 34 days as it stands. And try to play spoiler for IT. We will get you caught up on some of the other scores at the next timeout. When that next timeout may come, who knows, but we will try to get those to you as time permits. This one swung over in time for Snyder. Now another chance upcoming, lobbed over opposite side, finding Baptiste. Again, swung over, back row again they go to find Willer. High push again, now over to Wood. Wood again, sails this one high and inside for Jacqueline Alway. As Jacqueline Alway able to answer the call rather quickly and get it back on the board to make it 1-0, and the Warriors strike first here in the third. We'll get you to some scoring leaders coming up in just a moment. We'll wait till after the serve across from Rudder. Able to sneak this one over. Gets the dig up, now finds Wood. Now again over to Snyder, gets the block deflected tip and on the board. As Lawrence Snyder again continuing to lead the way for Indiana Tech here tonight. She's got 10 kills on 19 total attacks. 1 dig on the evening, that's good for 10 points for the Woodburn native. And get another one on the board off the generous bounce. As Paige Rudder continuing the rally, 3-0 advantage of IT. Rudder gets this one up the middle. Swung across. Do they get the tip? They do. As it goes off the hands of Lauren Pasca. So that'll stop the run for the moment. As Leah Baptiste able to get this one on the board rather quickly. Make it 3-1 advantage of IT. Here's a high swing over to the back row. Chance again upcoming. Swung on from Alway. Still able to keep it live. And off our top official, who has the law and the order, it says clearly Indiana Tech points. 4-1 our score. Emmeline Wood ready to bring it across. She was able to shut down set number 2 thanks to aces of her own, along with Hannah Tyke. Tyke again trying to shut the game down on her own too. As Indiana Tech has now rattled off, by our calculations, 10 out of the last 11 points. Chance again upcoming from the hands of Saab. Now again they go to Snyder. Mid-row collision still kept live by Scully. High swing and out of play. As Tester could not find it in the back of the box, so Indiana Tech now rattling off 11 out of the last 12 points. If you count the points at the end of set number 2, they were down 20-16 and rattled off 5 straight. They've obviously rattled off 6 out of the last 7 here in the third. They lead it by 5. Swing up from Tester, got it down and got it. Emmeline Wood bobbled it, could not get a good angle on it, but nonetheless, a 4-point lead and advantage of IT, and they're finding a way to get those early leads well calculated and trying to get this one well wrapped up in 3 if they can. This one sails out of play. Scoring leaders in this one, again, Indiana Tech 31-19 when it comes to kills. Lourdes 13-10 when it comes to attack errors. Total attacks, Indiana Tech with 87 compared to 79 for the Grey Wolves. 29 total assists, 19 for Lourdes, and 6 aces compared to the Lourdes 3. And some key statistics here in this one. Another point back on the board as it goes off the shoe of the line judge, which he ensures it is also out of play. 8-2 our score. Swung on again. This is going to be flown out of play. And another ace again, this time from the hands of number 15 and Isabella Asali. And Asali again, very happy to be back here tonight. Asali sails this one across, high swing out of play. So back-to-back side outs going against the Gray Wolves, and it's 10-2. IT with the advantage, and they certainly could feel that this one is within their grasp, and a win tonight would bump them up to 14-9, would get them more importantly to 7-4 in WHAC play. Will it get them in the top 4? We'll have to wait and see how that goes. Another big block in front coming from the hands of number 6 and Olivia Crasium. And so the Warriors have rattled off 11 out of the last 13 and gotten 5 in a row previously. So do the math, 16 out of the 18 points have gone to IT, make it 16 out of 19. So this one sails out of the box, but nonetheless, well in play for Indiana Tech. Once we get a break in the action, we'll get you updated on some of the other scores going on in the WHAC. We do have some finals to report, but we'll wait for those once we can confirm that for you in just a moment. This one lobbed up the middle. Chance again, high swing tip, sailed out of play. It will stay on the board for Lourdes as they trim it down to 7. Back row again they go. Finding off the hands of Pasca. Again, they sail this one back row from the hands of Allison. Now another back row swing from Schultz. Still bobbled, still kept live. Do they go again for Schultz? No, they go to Pasca. Pasca pinballed across. Now another chance. Schultz up the top and in. As Amelia Schultz able to find a way to get it from the top row and able to swing it down the middle and make it an 8-point game, 12-4. As Cassidy Boner now ready to return. And an 8-point game, advantage of IT. This one swings up the middle. Now another high tip, blocked again up front. As number 6, Olivia Crasium off the bench and on the board. And the Warriors up by 9 here in the third, and a very commanding third set. Here's another low swing. How about an ace for Boner? And a 10-point game, and the rout is on here at IT. Timeout Lourdes. So as they take a timeout, we'll go ahead and let you know tonight's game is a presentation of Indiana Tech Athletics, produced by Summit City Sports. Any unauthorized re-exhibition, redistribution, or redescription of tonight's game without the express written consent of Indiana Tech, the NAIA, the WHAC, or Summit City Sports is strictly prohibited. Joe Norther, Jake Havlin, delighted to have you with us. Tail of the tape. Again, a close one to start here in the first, but Tech has continued to find a way to really pull forward here in this match. They won the second 25-16 and have rattled off 14 out of the last 18 points on the board here in the third, and an additional 5 on top of that. That's 19 for 23 here in, well, really this entire third set and the latter portions of the second. Let's get you updated on other games going on across in the league right now, where you're not in the point of the season where you want to do too much scoreboard watching, but scoreboard watching could play a factor, if you will. Aquinas, no surprise, winners over Siena Heights 3-0 in that one in Grand Rapids. Rochester Christian ends up sweeping over UM Dearborn 3-0. 1-1 in one of the more interesting games of the schedule tonight, as Lawrence Tech and Madonna even at 1 apiece. Should Madonna get the W and Lawrence Tech drop, that will help Indiana's Tech cause a little bit, put them at least at that 4 or 5 spot in the WHAC. However, if Madonna loses, it creates a little bit more of a logjam with the Rochester Christian win tonight. They also go to 7-4. Obviously, the goal is win, 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 win. And Tech certainly on the route of doing that for the 5th time in a row. And a little miscue from the hands of Olivia Crayson. But nonetheless, makes it a 9-point game, 14-5 here in set number 3. Chance again upcoming from the hands of Jolie Saab. Saab now looking to chase it across. Finds Schultz. Schultz, does she get it inside? She does not. She does not. And so the Gray Wolves rattle off 2 in a row to make it 14-6 here in set number 3. So that'll slow down IT for the moment. But Schultz with a commanding swing to get it off the hands of Dujardin. And back on the board. And a 9-point game, an advantage of IT. Their largest lead tonight was 10 points. And has been 10 points this evening. They're at 9 right now. Anna Tyke able to bob it over. Chance again, dug up by Tyke. Swing on off the net and in. As Mia Carl, the middle blocker, able to quickly swing this one across. Making now 15-7, an advantage of the Warriors. But Lourdes again trying to open up the doors just a little bit here in the 3rd. As they lead by 8. They get this one swung on. Brought again, back row they go to Saab. And off the top. As that one hits the tweeter off the hands of the Gray Wolves. And now they're getting ever so closer to finishing this one off. As they lead by 9, 16-7. Well, again, Warriors will be in home territory for 3 very important conference games that could play some factors in league standing. As they will welcome UNOH next Wednesday night. And then Aquinas, number 1 Aquinas in the league, currently receiving votes in the top 25. And Cornerstone also receiving votes in the top 25 as that one sails into the net. We'll look to see if they're going to go for a challenge on that one. They won't. Instead, they'll just give it back to IT to make it 17-7. So that'll be next Wednesday, Friday, Saturday here at the Schaefer Center. And again, we go on the air 15 minutes before for the games on Wednesday and Friday night, 6:45 p.m. For the Saturday game, we'll go on the air just shortly before at 1:50 p.m. against Cornerstone. Aaron Farley will be with you on the 17th and 18th. I'll join you back here next Wednesday night. Swing across again coming from Matlick. Now another tip down and got it. One tip from 10 to another 10, and Rachel Allison able to get it back on the board. And a 9-point game at advantage. Still for IT, but Lourdes trying to get something on a roll here in the 3rd. As they lead it, as they trail it by 9 against the Warriors, who's trying to go 7-4 and try to stay in the fray in what is certainly going to be an interesting WHAC play. This one hit up from Matlick. They go for the tip, sail it back up front, and now a free ball chance up coming off the hands of Wood. They get this one over to Hans. Kira Hans able to get the swing in time. Make it 18-8. Well, again, at the top of the broadcast, we noted that Coach Matt Fishman has said, we're trying to experiment with some different rotations in our games, and so far they've been working out really, really well for us. And again, with a 4-game winning streak, it certainly has done the trick. About 7 more points, they'll make it 5. Push across again, tipped over, still in the net, still kept live. A great hindsight coming in from Crasium. Now dug up by Wood. Battle at the net. Who's got it? It's Tech. Now again, Lourdes to bring it across. High push from the hands of Baptiste. They go again to Crasium. That is sailed off the tip and in. I beg your pardon, that's number 9 in Yuli Carmelli. As Carmelli getting a quick point on the board for IT. And again, also mentioning too that Indiana Tech at full strength. Welcoming back in Carmelli. And other players here on the board. And another tip off the hands of Lourdes. We'll look to see if that point will stand, but if it does, 20-8, and it will. As Ivy Ayers and Yuli Carmelli back into play. But into the net that goes off the hands of Redder, so that'll stop the run for the moment. But nonetheless, 12 points, the largest lead tonight for IT. And barring any changes, Tech is looking very likely to potentially finish this one off in 3. High swing again, they go back row. Chance again over to Allison. Can't get this one across. Reset again for IT. Now another push from Pasca. Back row dig. Chance now again for the hands of Saab. Saab gets it off the tip. And the Warriors still very much alive here in this one. But the Grey Wolves still very much alive as well. As it's 20-10 here in the third, but the clock nearly striking midnight here in this one. Baptiste gets it up the middle to find Wood. Now another swing across, gets it down to Pasca, down and in. As Lauren Pasca again commanding the front line, and the lead back to 11. With Emmeline Wood now ready to bring it back and across. Wood on the evening with 2 aces on the board. Isabella Saleh leading with 3. Little miscue on the swing from the hands of Gianna Tester. And Tech up by 12 with 3 to go here in the third. Can Emmeline Wood find a way to shut this one down? Wood goes for a low roller up the middle. Swing on tip again. Brought back from Cole. Now Tech again. Block tip still kept live. They're going to have to go for it once more. They go to Pasca up the middle. Bobbed up. And a free chance up coming again from Tester. Now another swing across. Tip. Crasium couldn't get it. Now they go to Saab. Back row. Big dig. Now another free chance up coming. And a lift going to be called. Actually, a double is going to be called against Paige Redder. It looks like maybe a lift, but the double will be called against Redder. So 22-11 as Indiana Tech has doubled up on Lourdes here in the third. Miscue again. They're going to go high back row. Sailed across, another reset upcoming. Could be good. Here's Carmelli. Carmelli sails it out of the box, and we play on. 22-12 here in this one. An advantage of IT. Lourdes able to rattle off 2 points in a row here in this third set. And another swing tip on the board for Lourdes, as they're able to get the ace rather quickly here to make it 22-13. And so can the Grey Wolves find a way to rattle back here in this one. They're down 9. This one goes into the net, won't do it here. 23-13, 10-point game. Only 2 more to win the match if you're IT. And again, back-to-back ace leaders here in this one. Isabella Astley now ready to bring it across. Astley into the net. And so the Grey Wolves cut it back to within 9, and the Warriors trying to close this one out. Just some miscues again from the back row in the interim. But nonetheless have been the dominant force here in the match tonight. They get this one up the middle. High push across, down and in. Olivia Crasium gets it on the board, and it's match point opportunity for IT. And number 16, Cassidy Boner, trying to close it out. Boner up the middle. Chance again, swung on from Saab. Now another big push across. Light tip from Hans. Again connecting over with Allison. Back row, not going to get it. And the deflection still keeping Lourdes in this one. as they trail by 9, 24-19. We go to match point number 2. Jolie Saab, the attack leader for the Grey Wolves, brings this one across. Hits it over to Boner. Swung on, low tip from Schultz, still kept live, and that's how it ends. So the side out from the hands of number 12, and Aaliyah Baptiste ends the match. And Tech gets another sweep here on the season as they win it 25-20, 25-16, and 25-15. So another great win for the Warriors. They improved to 7-4 at WHAC play, 14-9 overall in the overall season. Our player of the game tonight, multiple nominees you could go with if you're Indiana Tech, but it has to go to Lauren Snyder, 10 for 20 tonight off one error. And it was the continual commanding force on the front line, especially in the mid to late second set surge. So we will join you next week here from the Schaefer Center. The Warriors head on the road to take on Defiance, a great one on Friday night. And then back here for 3 straight with UNOH, Aquinas, and Cornerstone next Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, respectively. We'll talk to you in about 166 hours from now as UNOH comes to the Schaefer Center and Indiana Tech tries to continue the winning streak. They've won 5 in a row. Could they go for 6 against Defiance, maybe 7 against the Racers? We'll find out. We'll talk to you next week from the Schaefer Center. For all of us here at Indiana Tech Athletics, Joe Northern saying so long. Warriors win it 3 straight.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I decided if I was going to come to Indiana Tech, I was going to be a different kind of instructor. I was really going to focus on connecting with students, teaching the students the theory that they needed and also the practical applications.
Very practically what that looks like is smaller class sizes. So my class sizes are the 8 to 10 up to maybe 20. And that's backed up with we have 18 hours of office hours every week. I'm sitting in my office waiting for students to come in to talk about anything. It doesn't just have to be with the classroom.
In the College of Engineering, we have ABET accreditation for mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and biomedical engineering. ABET is the top accrediting board for engineering in the United States and probably in the world.
Another thing that is a very different approach at Indiana Tech, I think, that some other universities, is we try and make sure they have a lot of lab experience in the engineering department. All engineering programs are going to have laboratory courses, but in our laboratory courses we try to get them not just exposure to measurements and exposure to some of the devices that you'll be used, but I like to actually assign projects that are,